what happened to Pakistan. What they 189 for 6, 189 for 9.
Yeah,
so there's the turnaround and the contrast.
Also look at Corbin Bosch equaling Aiden Markram's 15 boundaries. So generally a high percentage of boundaries in test matches here. But you've still got to show the courage and the fearlessness to come out with the bat after doing so well with the forfeit. Now highest test score by number 9 on test match debut.
Yeah, method, as I said, intensity and correctness to go with the flair. And he had the confidence, the inbuilt confidence. You could see the body language also is extremely positive and wanted good results and was expecting good results, and he got that quite well in the end. A tremendous start to his test career.
Yeah, what that stat tells you is you're not supposed to be getting 81 on debut when you're batting at number 9, and that's where Pakistan will feel like they let themselves down, because those runs are going to prove to be vital. It's a surface where I don't think you're going to get a big score, and whatever South Africa have to chase down second time round, they'll be wanting to make sure it's as little as possible. So I think that was pretty costly, but nice to have that record. What a brilliant performance from him. Hasn't been bowled out in international cricket.
They'll be wanting to make sure it's as little as possible, so I think that was
his first test match knock.
The other thing that Mohammad Abbas was used for 8 consecutive overs, I thought they overdid that part as well.
Yeah.
Because, you see, once the partnership is growing and brewing, you've got to get somebody in to just break it, and maybe the spin or the spinner could have been a very good option. But Abbas's 8 overs, I thought Pakistan just overused him.
Yeah, let's talk more about the surface, what we can expect today once the rain does abate. We saw some variable bounce yesterday, but let's talk more and look at how Aiden Markram went about his knock of 89. Good morning, Mike Hazeman.
Morning, Kaz. How you doing? It's a little bit wet at the moment. We've just got a little bit of rain here in the middle. We were actually getting ready to do a pitch report, and it just started to rain, so the covers are going on now. And we're going to talk a little bit about technique of Aiden Markram. But before we talk about technique about Markram, I want to talk about technique with Hashim Amla, because I think his technique in holding the umbrella is absolutely outstanding. I'd also like to get a photograph of this as well, so I can post that he's looking after me, so that's just ideal. Right, Hash, before we go into some technique stuff with Hayden, what do you think about Aiden's knock in this test match?
Absolutely beautiful. It was lovely to see him bat in that flowing nature that we've been used to seeing Aiden bat. One of the impressive things was his shot selection.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the key to batting, is shot selection. You've got to attack the balls that are there to attack and leave the balls outside off stump, which has been a key for any batter who's been successful at this venue. And he's been severely brutal on the short ball, which is important, because when bowlers are looking for good areas and they get desperate, they provide those short and wide balls that he smashed to the cover so lovely.
So we've got a package here from Hawkeye to have a look at. Now I just want to set it up a little bit. Now it's an area between 6.2 metres and 7.5, which is where Aiden Markram actually didn't drive at all and just allowed those balls to go through. These are the fuller deliveries, so that's closer to him than what I talked about in that area. Again, 6.2 to 7.5 metres from the base of stumps, he let him alone. These fuller deliveries, he just crashed them through the covers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's now the shot selection. You're seeing the fours that he's hit over the overpitch deliveries, but these are the balls that have the build-up to it.
That's the area. That's the area I'm talking about. They let alone all the time.
Absolutely. That's fantastic bowling to hit that area, but it's fantastic batting to leave and to be circumspect on that line. There were a few dismissals from the South African side where they flashed at it and they nicked off, because those are defensive deliveries. The fuller ones that he was fully in control of and he punished through the covers, I mean, that's test match batting, and that's when you're watching somebody who is in their good flow.
And then, I mean, he's taken it to another level, obviously identifying that danger area. I mean, how difficult is that to do, Hashim, as a batsman in the middle?
Yeah, it depends on the bowler, actually. I mean, they're setting the tone to be, if they're bowling a good delivery, then you have to be circumspect to it, and you've got to back your defense and leave well. And you've got to be patient enough and take them into their second and third spells, which is what Aiden did, and that's why he's ended up with 80. Obviously disappointed to get out for 80, but I'm sure he's very relieved, because it's good to see him get scores, you know, high 50s, and it won't be long before we see a big 100 from him.
There's an area also in the pitch which is around about 6 metres to 7 metres from the base of the stumps again, and again that's a little slot that that Aiden was not playing at, leaving alone or just defending, not being aggressive against those deliveries. That's the spot from the base of the stumps, from both ends, by the way, where there's been variable bounce. We've got a package now which is actually from the first 2 days. I mean, some of these are quite excessive.
Yeah, they are excessive, but what you And also, when we were doing on commentary and we're watching these type of deliveries usually happen only post-lunch. So the effect of the roller wore off, and the wicket started to act up a little. That was the only ball. The other point I'll make, Hazy, is that most of these balls are outside of stump. Barring Stubbs is one that kept low and nipped back. So as a batsman, you think to yourself that, you know what, actually, yeah, there's a bit of up and down bounce, but it's not hitting the stumps. And it's not necessarily getting me out. So I don't really have to be too concerned about it. Barring Stubbs is one, which is one in probably about 20 or 30 that have misbehaved. The rest have been outside the stumps, and it hasn't been that bad.
Okay, so you see a ball react from that area.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very hard to adjust and play, but what is your best chance?
Your best chance is to leave the balls that are in that area, because it's variable. If it's short and it's wide and it's fair.
The covers are just coming off, just by the way. It's there it is. Yep, there they go, coming off right now.
Oh,
right
fantastic
news. They
news.
want us to move, actually. I think we better just... come on, Aubrey, let's go this way a little bit. Sorry, gents. Yeah, sorry, continue.
Yeah, so the best option is when the ball is on that line and length, outside the stumps, on a good length in which it was reacting invariably, you got to leave it. Why play at it if you know it's going to be tougher to play? So that's what Aiden did. He left those balls outside off stump, and that's why he ended up with 80, and he was really solid throughout his innings.
Okay, now this cover, I was wrong. The covers are obviously going on, the bigger covers. Now this obviously looks after the bowler's run-ups, so obviously they're a little bit concerned there's going to be some heavier rain coming through. When we drove through from Johannesburg this morning, there was a little bit of drizzle. That's just 40 minutes away to come to the ground. Bit of drizzle. The forecast is a bit on and off a little bit of the rain today. We're hoping we're going to get some seriously good rain, but the ground staff clearly just taking preparations now to make sure that everything's in order, because it's not very heavy, it's just very light rain at the moment, and there's an argument there, and Ramiz was talking about this during the pink day. In fact, I think I'll go back to Ramiz. We'll probably continue this conversation about if it's just a little bit of light rain, why don't the guys start? It's light right now. But anyway, Hash, thanks for that again. Great technique. Kaz, back to you.
Hayes, thanks very much. Some smooth moves, I thought, from Hash and Hayes to try to get out of the way from the covers, but in the thick of things, it feels like the rain is not as heavy, but our weatherman, Sean Pollock, has been watching the weather. Polly, what is the forecast saying for today?
Oh, I'm not too sure. I just knew it was going to rain before the start of play. I don't know what is going to come later on this afternoon. I think we're going to get another bit of storm, but that could be at the back end, might actually even be at the close of play, so we hope it doesn't have an impact.
Well, we're hoping we have some play soon. This match is so nicely balanced. We've had such good crowds coming through, and being a Saturday, no doubt SuperSport Park will be hoping that the Centurion faithful will be coming through. We're going to take a short break here from SuperSport Park and be back with you afterwards.
Now it's free to sell on eBay. You'll see your presents differently. eBay, things people love.
Let's get ready to rumble! Let's get ready, let's get ready, let's get ready to rumble! Watch us rock the mic, watch us rock the mic, watch us rock the mic. Sykes, let's get ready, let's get ready, let's get...
Thousands of holiday cottages across the UK, selected by us, perfect for you.
Watch us rock the mic, watch us rock the mic, watch us rock the mic. Sykes.
Get ready to book your next break now at sykescottages.co.uk.
You found it then?
Of course I did. Good point.